All right, now it's time for the matches. This is the list that we're going to be trying out today. Green-White Reclaimer. Very similar to what to the list that did well over the weekend. The one thing is that number one, I think the tech edge is actually pretty solid. I've always liked having access to tech edge against all the Tron decks and stuff. Which, by the way, the Tron decks, particularly, I guess just mono green Tron, is kind of a medium matchup for this. Usually when I'm playing Titan Vial, I have access to damping spheres and whatnot, which buy you a lot of time. And Tech Edge is very good at keeping Tron in check, and also very good at keeping the some of the other control decks in check. Not only the blue ones, but also if your opponent's playing stuff like Scape Shift and whatnot. Some of the decks, just even for the mirror, like having access to tech edge and your opponent not having tech edge is such a massive difference. You can keep Valakut in check. If you manage to combo it with Raminab, you can go nuts. So am I off of the vial? For the time being, yes, P-Duff. That's a good question, actually. I think that just Path to Exile is way too important right now with the Rise of Death Shadow, Mono White taxes, the Spirits decks. There's just too many creature decks that you want to answer their creatures on the cheap. So I think that unfortunately, even though I love me some Aether Vials, I unfortunately think that you just need to be playing Path to Exiles in your main deck. You're really sad if you draw one of those against the control decks. But c'est la vie. You kind of have to live with that. I'm really big on Explore, and the reason you're playing Zero. Yes, Bamsing. So the reason that we're not playing Explore is because we're actually playing more of a toolbox in the main deck. So I feel like there's two ways of building this deck that we have seen. One way is the I don't want to call it the obvious way, but the way that I have seen a lot of people going towards, which is trying to maximize speeding up your Titan as soon as possible. Of course, the pros to that is that whenever you're playing against a matchup where Titan is good, then you're golden, right? You're gonna be a little bit better at doing that thing specifically. So with cards like Explore and stuff like that, you can speed up your Titan and cast it a little bit earlier. This list, what it does is it has a little bit of a toolbox. It's a little bit closer to Titan Vial in its design. So we have access to cards like Knight of Autumn, Tireless Tracker, and Raminep, as well as a couple of apparitions and Archon of Emeria, all of these in the main deck. So this is what we're trying to maximize options with this list. So if you're playing Explorers, you probably would cut these cards and add a couple of Explorers and maybe even a 30-second land. But while doing that, you are, for example, you're kind of cold to the Upsol spells deck. With this list, if you get paired against Upsol spells, you can go turn 2, Eladamir Skull, go get Archon, and then you just play Archon on turn 3, and your opponent is going to have a really tough time beating you game 1. So definitely some different approaches in deck building, basically, and both of them have different pros and cons. Personally, I like this way of building the deck. One card that I have enjoyed a lot in this kind of list is Spring Bloom Druid, which I don't see in this list, but I kind of want to make room for. So maybe if I play a second league, I might cut a Grazer for one of the druids. Like, Grazer is very good right now, actually. I think that Grazer is a great card against all of the aggro decks. Like, your opponent, if you go turn 1 Grazer against your Shadow opponent, that means that their Swift Spear cannot get through unless they use a removal spell, or they just, like, attack you, which... Or they like need to use mutagenic growth in order to attack through, or they have to use a bolt on it, which means that their Scourge is going to be delayed because they're not going to be able to deal you damage in time, so they cannot turn to Scourge, which is one of their toughest starts to beat. So I think that Grazer is very good, but I just hate this card. I don't like Grazer. I think it's awful, but... I don't know. The problem that I have with Explore in this list is that it really conflicts with your Reclaimer. So if you have turn 1 Reclaimer, then your Explore is kind of dead. The good thing is that the Explore gives you something to do if you have a Reclaimer, if your Reclaimer dies. So that is cool. But I think that there's like a little bit of conflict between Reclaimer and Explore. So personally, I'm not a big fan of Explore. But again, like I think Springbloom Druid was very impressive whenever I tried it. So 31 lands, we're splashing red for Boil. Whenever, if you're splashing a card in a deck like this, I think it has to be one of these. This is a late game bomb that 100% just like turns around specific matchups. So I think Boil is a fine splash. I probably would not splash any other card realistically, or if I were to splash any other card, it would be something like Boil, a card that I'm planning on casting on turns like 5+. But yeah, so the sideboard is very similar to what Marcus played, except I went -2 Veils, +1 Tech Edge, and I think +1 Mind Sensor, which is very good in the mirror match, and in and against Titan decks and stuff. All right, let's go. With friends, so people cyber Boil versus us, well played ourselves. That's a great question. I'm not gonna answer it though. Mind Sensor overperform. Yeah, I think the Mind Sensor is very good. Yeah, this hand's not good. Okay, so we're gonna keep this, and I guess we're gonna bottom the Knight of Autumn. Gobo. Path to Exile. That sucks. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to fetch Shock. This is really bad. Also bottoming the Knight of Autumn, really hurting here. Bringing Boil in the mirror because of how important Try it is in the matchup. Yeah, that's actually an interesting thing. Azim 17866 with the 1 sub. Welcome back for the 10th month now. Holy crap, that's so many months. Thank you so much, Azim, for the continued support. Really appreciate it. When you ever will you play it? No, I won't. I think we just have to shock, right? Like we have to kill the Gobo, and we have to also kill the Eidolon. This is we're in pretty bad shape here. I hate the second Temple Garden so much. I mean, when you draw it. Ugh. Well, my opponent's hand is very good. So I guess that we're gonna have to. Oh, yikes. Feels like I'm gonna have to chomp with Reclaimer. We're going down to 9. Damn it. No, I think that we can't chomp with Reclaimer. I feel like Reclaimer kind of has to survive. Like Field Path Eidolon. I have to kill my opponent's creatures, right? That's not an option. And I'd rather get... Like, this is a creature that's not attacking me next turn, right? Now the question is, what do I path? I think I path the Swift Spear. Yeah, Shocking is gaining me 2 life. So we just have to... We're so dead. We're so freaking dead. So we just have to get Radiant Fountain here and like Vesuva the Fountain. We can gain 2 more life next turn by getting... Oh, okay, so we're dead now. Yep. Brutal. Of course we get punished because I bottomed the Knight of Autumn, which would have been great. But okay. Some number of purges are fine. I don't want all of them, but I probably want them better than Path to Exile, given my opponent lands is a pretty big cost. And Tracker sucks. Eidolon is fine, probably better than Archon. And maybe we can just get Ramming up. Let's go. So we have the Nutty Fountain. I think I'm going to keep this hand, actually. We can fetch on turn 1. And we can... We're pretty close to getting Dryad active very quickly. We can also just, like, Eidolon on turn 3. Which I don't mind, actually. How much do you have today for you to play Yargle Explorers? For 1 league? That's a good question. So I'm gonna get the Scatter Groves here. So that probably means that I'm gonna be playing Dryad on turn 3. Black? Well, hell yeah, we're playing Dryad on turn 3. Okay, so this hand ended up being very, very, very good. Now the question is, do we block or not? I think we don't. My opponent's doing stuff main phase anyway, so... I guess we do now. Not that they play their first spell. We're gonna get to trigger Dryad next turn because we have a second one, so... This forces my opponent to use a spell, yeah, on the Dryad, which effectively gains me 6 life, which is a pretty good deal. So let's play another Dryad. Let's play this, and let's play this. Kill here, and we're going to kill the other one just right now. Temple Garden tapped, kill there. Your go. Why they split in Archon and Eidolon? Because they are better in different spots, basically. Double Rift Bolt suspended, huh? Tell me more about it. Tell me more about that double Rift Bolt suspension, opponent. This is great. Eidolon, aka Time Walk. Time Walk plus Counterspell. Let's go. Eidolon of Rhetoric, aka 1/4 Time Walk plus Counterspell. Good stuff, good stuff. Balak at you. That was nice. Why have these decks moved away from Bile? Because Path to Exile is just too important in the current format. I explained that at the beginning of the video. But I think that the meta has moved in such a direction that you cannot not have removal in your main deck. And that's okay. Arcantos Awaken 1. Questions are always welcome. Why not Archon of Ameria over Eidolon? Because one of them dies to Bolt and the other one doesn't. Interesting hand. I put a Mule to 6. Hating the Sacred Foundry with a passion right about now. We have double removal for their creatures. I think I'm gonna keep this hand. We might never find the green source and be very sad, but if we do... Thoughtseize. Gobo. Okay, so they have a Gobo hand. Basic Forest off the top. Second Flagstones. Well, that fixes my mana, so that's good. Probably being in one of these purges. Skyclave Apparition. Okay. So unfortunately we're gonna have to main phase blow this up. So float white, play this. But now we want to fix our green mana here. Scarlet Groves, white. Bump in the night. So this kind of forces my opponent to answer the Reclaimer, otherwise we're gonna be in a little bit too good of shape. Oh wow. Yeah, okay, so this is game now, I think. So we sack here, we go get Radiant Fountain. Temple Garden tapped. Radiant Fountain. Gain 2. Play Steve, say go. We play Titan next turn, game over. Bolt face, you got it. Goblin Guide resolves. Just get Field and Radiant Fountain, I think. Opponent concedes. Was Dryad lethal? No, because we couldn't activate. Because we would have to call for Dryad, so that's 1 plus 3. But next turn, Dryad was going to be lethal. But we couldn't activate Reclaimer, right? That was the problem. You have to call for Dryad, and then we only have 1 mana remaining. If we had access to 1 untap mana, then we were pretty damn close to lethal. I think maybe we had 15. We play the Valakut, we activate Reclaimer, get second Valakut, that's 9. Yeah, we had 15. Stefano Canclini, thank you for the follow. Benjamin 13 is our next victim. We have... Look at this opener. This is basically what I like to call Splinter Twin. Right here. Still love that follow picture. It's pretty great, honestly. Dread fix humana, so you can cast Boil the Nuts. Oh yeah, oof. That's the question. Do they have Splinter Twin, or are we gonna be ahead? They have Splinter Twin too! The Splinter Twin mirror match! Spider-Man meme engage. With my opponent having Splinter Twin and then being on the play, I kind of don't like my spot too much, if I'm being honest. Unless they somehow don't have anything in the rest of their hand. The good thing is that if they copied one of the lists from the weekend, they are not going to have access to even Mind Sensor. Post board, which is great for us, obviously. Bog them, Kappa. Okay, so they're flagstoning for flagstoning. Bo was relevant in my match against Mamsing this weekend. Yeah, I mean, because of Raminap, right? You don't really care too much about the Reclaimer unless you want to kill the Reclaimer with a Valaka trigger, in which case bogging them means that you kill them with one trigger as opposed to two. Okay, this means that we're going to get to double spell and my opponent won't, because they're going to be activating Reclaimer. So at least that part is good for us. So I think we're going to get Valakat here. So we can set up a double Valakat a couple of turns from now. So this is going to be a Temple Garden tapped. And now we go get Valakat. But we have Splinter Twin. Like, I don't know what this is. Like, more Splinter Twin. Splinter Twin increased. Oh, we're gonna get pathed? Oh, never mind. Sad face. Oh, hello. Okay, so we can Dryad. They use the path. We can call for Dryad, play Dryad, trigger Valakat. We don't get to kill the Reclaimer. I think I'm gonna be a coward and I'm going to play Tracker instead. Because I think that if my opponent has Dryad, we're gonna need to path it. Would a card like Harshbringer hurt us too bad? I'm thinking it would be gassing and stuff like oops out of the board. Yeah, well, that's what we're playing Archon, right? Archon is our oops target. Yes, no, it's definitely playable. It's definitely playable. Why not keep up the Clue Colpus path? Because if I don't use path this turn, Like if my opponent doesn't play a Dryad, I'm trying to not path this Reclaimer basically. And I'm trying to save my path to exile for the Dryad. And if my opponent doesn't play a Dryad this turn, in the next turn it allows me to hold up, to play Dryad, get a couple of Valakut triggers, and on the following turn still be holding a path for a Dryad from my opponent's side. So getting the tapped card out of yeah, but playing the Flagstone you could have done both, right, instead of Groves? No, I just explained why. Unless I played and bounced the Celestia Sanctuary. But I'd rather hold on to this Sanctuary if I can. If this is a Titan, we kind of don't care that much, which is a wild thing to say. So maybe they get Valakut plus... Night stream, how was the deck been? It was pretty good, Jose. Deal 3 Pedro, thank you for follow. Jose. Sorry, Jose. It was pretty good actually. I had a good time and I enjoyed it a lot. I think that there were a lot less Upsol spells decks than I was expecting, so if I could play the event again, I think I would play a list without Karn, with something else instead. That's interesting to me, like they didn't set up another Flagstones there. Oh. I guess that does make sense. So I guess I'm gonna have to path their Titan. So the best draw that we can have here is a Valakut. That's not a Valakut. That's not a great timing there. I think that we're in bad shape now. So we have to somehow survive this turn. Get Spotify relay on the Streamlabs, nice. The deck list was perfect, then it wasn't. Yeah, that's accurate actually. Okay, so they do have the Dryad, so I'm gonna have to path that, which means we let them attack here. Oh no, I should have pathed before this. Oh, that was bad. I should have pathed before the trigger resolved. Because now we can get Vesuva from the Reclaimer. Yikes, that was bad. Yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, that was a big mistake. Damn it.
I've made a huge mistake.
Reclaimer is not proud. 4 Purge in the board, is Shadow matchup super bad? No, it's just that Purge is probably the best card, the best sideboard card that any Reclaimer / Amulet deck, any Titan deck Purge is the best cyber card that we have access to. Bar none. It answers literally every problematic card. It answers Blood Moon, it answers Ashiok, it kills anything from like Death Shadow, Liliana, Chandra, Colossus, Glorybringer, like anything that you care about, Purge answers. Arrested Development definitely. Wow, you're hip, huh? Shut up, Doomwick. No, I think the Shadow matchup is bad for us. I think the Shadow matchup is better than the Prowess matchup. I'll say that much. I think the Prowess matchup is abysmal. The Prowess matchup is absolutely abysmal. And the other matchup is a little bit more manageable. Yeah, but now the Valakut can actually kill my Dryad. So yeah, I threw this game away. Like if I had killed the Dryad with the Titan trigger on the stack, we would be in significantly better shape because my opponent could kill my tracker, but they could not kill my Dryad. So 6, 7, this is 12 damage, which is not lethal. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we cannot Dryad plus Titan, so I don't think that we have outs. Yeah, we cannot. So I think that we're dead. Green White has a bad matchup against Amulet. Yes, but not by that much. Play that game. I mean, it was just that mistake, right? I was feeling good until I made that stupid mistake, and that stupid mistake ended up being game losing. Feels bad, man. Arcan can go. Knight of Home is actually good. Never mind. Tracker can go. Zero in mana traders. I don't want to play anymore. What mana traders are you talking about? Why is the Shadow matchup bad? Because they have more removal spells that we have ways of dealing with their stuff. This month's mana traders is standard. Oh yeah, fuck that. Standard. Centaur Peacemaker. Wait, 3/3 when enters the battlefield, this is gaining 4 life. Is that the anti-shadow tech? Sure, let's get a basic. Okay, this means that we get a Reclaimer activation. Best top deck is a Flagstones. No Flagstones, so we're gonna have to go fetch it. I guess I might as well play around Mind Sensor here. Do you think Boyle is sideable for a short alliance if only controls a Dryad? I think that I want to kill the Dryad on sight. I don't want to be holding up 4 mana in order to kill the Dryad. I'd rather hold up 1, right? And they are directly opposite cyber plans. Like if you want to hold up path for your opponent's Dryad, that means that you are making your Boils better and vice versa. So I think that they are directly conflicting cyber plans. So Why 4th Titan over Gargroth? I mean, they're completely different cards. So, why are you comparing one to the other one? they do completely different things. Because the 4th Titan is the 4th best card in the deck. Great analysis, Jose. So we suck here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 lands in play. We can go with another Flagstones. If we draw any untapped land, we're in good shape. Just noticed Gargoyles was 1. I figured that was the cut for the 4th Titan number 4. No, not really. Again, the idea here is I'm playing around Aver Mind Sensor, mostly because I can. And I think I'm going for Valakut. Mainboard Gargoyles will probably replace Mainboard Tracker. Yeah, again, they do different things, right? So I think that you can, depending on what you want to hedge against, is what you should put in your deck. Like if you're trying to hedge against Gruul, then Gargoth is going to be better for you. If you're trying to hedge against, I don't know, something else. Fog? That was a sick top deck, because this allows me to guarantee some triggers and get even more value. So this is pretty great. If they're going to go squatter, they should go squatter now before the Dryad hits the battlefield. Unless they have a removal spell, but if they have a removal spell, I get to clear their board. So they probably have a path here. Sure. What's up, Poseidon? Doing pretty well over here. They get Flagstones? That is extremely surprising to me. Why would they get Flagstones? Why get Flagstones there? Your Reclaimer is now dead. They're probably gonna call for a Knight of Autumn, or yeah, one of those. One of those cards. It sucks, but it's kind of okay. Sure. So we suck. We're gonna blow up their board in response, I think. One, two, three, four, 5. This is gonna be 6. So I think we're gonna go get Tech Edge here. Interesting. And they chose to sack the Vesuva instead of the Flagstones? Weird. Any business would probably be game over. That's not business, but... Sure. So they just destroy their own land? That helps me out. Sweet, thank you. And now I can safely do that. And we have a slightly better board than my opponent. They're down to 2 cards. Decent top deck. Sweet. Pepega has been called. Is there room for symbiosis in this list? There might be. There might be, but I don't know. Like I haven't tested it personally, but you might be able to make room for it. Kind of like as a 30-second land. It's gonna be better in a deck like this because we have a very limited access to bounce lands. So whenever you play it as a land, it's kind of going to just be a land. Think Tech Edge to be superior to the second Ghost Sword since Oops is a thing. Well, they do different things, I should say, right? So like if I am planning to target specifically Oops or spells, I think I would go with the second Ghost Quarter. But if I'm targeting like other stuff, maybe these hands are awful, then I could see playing a Ghost Quarter. I'm trying to do a little bit of both here. So I think we do this. Hoping that this Mind Sensor is going to go the distance. Also, Knight of Autumn being an answer to another Dryad is pretty sweet. Move to 5 though. Not a great place to be, unless I find Splinter Twin here. It's no Splinter Twin. That is no Splinter Twin. What my opponent's got going on is Splinter Twin. Alright, one more turn to draw Splinter Twin. Let's roll that Flagstones here, okay? Give me your energy, chat. Give me your energy. Where's this Laxac emote? There's my Laxac emote. Let's be a Laxac over here. Let's be a Laxac right here. Let's be a Doomwake here, okay? Why are we calling it twin? Because, I mean, if you think about it, Reclaimer plus Flagstones is basically Splinter Twin. It's the same thing. Like, when you assemble the combo, you win the game. It's kind of how that works. So... yeah. Not whitelisted. I know. God damn it. Who wasn't trying hard enough out there? Why Generous Beast offer Beast within? Good question. One of them gets Sailor Gusted, the other one doesn't. That's pretty much it. That is the reason. This chat has Doom and Jose. Must be a cool stream. It is a cool stream. Which one gets gusted? All or not, or neither of them get casted. All right, let's get Flagstones. No Mind Sensor. Good. Path, my dude. Okay. I honestly don't mind that too much. They didn't activate when they could? Okay, we're not drawing well, but there is a slimmer of hope out there, chat. Don't path me, bro. Don't path me. You don't have another path to exile. Whiff, whiff, yes! Whiff, 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 whiff. No lands. No, oh, damn it. What is better, this or Titan Vial? Right now, this, I think. This is basically like a spiritual successor of Titan Vial. Play Dryad and don't have Valakut. Let's go. That's a tracker. We can't beat that one. Why instead of opponent? Instead of playing the one that we can't beat, you're playing the one that we cannot beat. That's not how this was supposed to go. God damn it. God damn it. Am I supposed to GQ here? I do think I'm supposed to play this Knight of Autumn. Just make it 4-4. 4-3, sorry. Well, GQ in them is actually not bad. Like, it's very likely, because of the Mind Sensor, it's very likely to just be Strip Mine. I think that we have to GQ. Whoops, 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 whoops. Ooh, okay. I should have GQ'd right there, by the way. Yeah, because of exactly this. I actually misclicked. I wanted to not... At this point, I don't think there's anything that we can draw. The multiply is really catching up to us. Greater and back on Green White Reclaimer. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, this deck's sweet. Yeah, I didn't play it last week because I was specifically testing for an event that was going to happen this past weekend where I was planning on playing Amulet, so... I mean, we can keep playing this game, but I don't think we can win anymore. My opponent's playing very, very slowly, as you can see, so I'm kind of over it. I am kind of over it at that point, so I'd rather move on to just queue up for the next match. Lost the mirror. Would you concede as aggressively in paper? Is that a function of MTGO? No, I mean, I explained why I concede. Like, I think that we are legit 0% to win that game. Like, we have no resource. We multiply, we have no resources whatsoever. My opponent has a tracker going. Like, I think that we are actually 0% to win that game. But yeah, I mean, I probably would make my opponent play that on paper, but I'm assuming my opponent would play a little bit faster, I guess. Splinter Twin, you just don't mulligan these hands. Turn 1 Reclaimer on the play. Just don't mulligan these hands. We have the nuts, exactly the nuts. Is my opponent gonna path me on 1? They are. Look at this, chat. Pog. Wow, that's some respect for the Reclaimer right there. I'm not playing around Spell Pierce. I should have probably played around Spell Snare. I think I'm gonna go for Tracker here, actually. Tracker is one option, Dryad is the other one. What do I think about Rip? Unnecessary and probably not worth it. I think I'm just going to take my chance to resolve this Tracker right here. And I guess I'm gonna play this Blast Zone so I can crack Clue and Unstep, use my mana more efficiently. Snap Path maybe? No. Okay. Okay. We managed to untap with Tracker. Which is definitely a big deal. So whenever they tap out for something, whatever that something is, just cycle Shark Typhoon. So we can do this now. So it's probably Shark Blade, I would imagine. Why no vials and no caverns with the control matchup? Cyberpunk. First of all, there is a cavern. Second of all, there's 3 vials in my sideboard. This card sure is something. Yep. Yep. That just happened. Am I ahead, chat? Do we think that I'm ahead? Only thing about Rip. Dredge is a medium matchup. It's not great. I definitely don't think it's bad. I definitely don't think it's bad. Like you're a Titan deck after all, right? And Titan decks have good matchups against Dredge, just naturally because of the presence of Bojuka Bog. And if you go turn 1 Reclaimer, it's pretty tough for your opponent to beat you. What is this? Verdict. So we just get to Titan now? So my opponent probably does not have very many verdicts, so I think that going for Field Bog is my best shot here. Not only puts my opponent under basically infinite pressure, but also it means that Mystic Sanctuary doesn't get them out of this. Anyone's game. Yep. Anyone's game. Remember when we went turn 1 Reclaimer? My opponent pathed it and we went turn 2 Reclaimer and my opponent also pathed it? Those were good times, chat. Those were such great times. The best of times, I might even dare to say. Colonnade! Remember Colonnade, chat? Oh man, those were the times. I would like to attack for lethal, please. Force Pichu Force on my path to exile. That's delightful. That is delightful. I think I want to bring my opponent. Now, killing the fairy seems important. So 2 at the fairy, 3 at them. So the fairy down, they're gonna take 4, get their free block in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I guess we can play around Mana Leak even. Why are you still here? Why are you still here is the real question. Let's do Ghost Squatter and Fetch Land? Oh, Valak. Valak would have been better than the Fetch Land because we have access to Fetch Lands. Whatever. Like, it's... Copy Colonnade, cast Dryad, attack for 4. Wow. The meme value of that line, it's pretty ridiculous. Also, I just realized that we still have a clue that we haven't cracked. First time watching one of your stream live. Thanks for still playing Evelyn. You're good place. I'm good enough that I foiled my paper deck. Hell yeah! Sweet. Sweet Asshole Road. Ace Road. Thank you for hanging out. And yeah, congratulations on foiling the paper deck. Opponent just want to attack with Colonnade for the memes. Yeah, would have been sick, huh? Tracker. I think I don't want Eidolon, but I definitely want Archon. This is an interesting one. Gracer, GTFO, you suck. I think also my opponent is not on Stoneblade. So I think I'm going to side out the paths. We're totally gonna get punished for that, but it's okay though. Oh, Generous Gift. It's probably better than the Knight of Autumn. We could also cut Steven. Hell yeah, let's do this. Boyle doesn't kill Colonnade. Maybe that's why opponent's playing Boyle is playing Colonnade. They're just pre-boarded. They're pre-boarded against my Boyle. Five-head opponent. maybe that was not good. No, it's okay. Play around Ashiok a little bit. Why do we have white bordered boils? Doomwake, they were a lot cheaper. The reason that we have white bordered boils is that they were significantly cheaper than the other ones. Like 3 ticks cheaper. These were like 60 cents and the other ones were like $3, and it's like I'm just jamming into this charm, mana leak, whatever. Like, this is fine. Like, the problem is that if we don't do anything, then my opponent uses charm to draw 2, which is probably even worse than this. So that's a problem. Please? Opponent doesn't even want to know what they're gonna be drawing. That was good stuff. We casually dropped a tapped Sacred Foundry on turn 2, just like, boop, let's play a tap right now, get it out of the way. That was funny. That was really funny. What companion do you have, opponent? I would be all over this hand if we had a green source, but okay. So I guess we've bottomed the Archon. Casual turn for a kill from the green white lands deck. Yeah. So we're probably playing against one of the shadow decks. Thoughtseize. Oh, Matt. Yeah, we're not playing battles. We're playing very close to the lists that did well over the weekend. I think I'm trading with Bomat here, if my opponent gives me the option. Vial less Titan Vial. Exactly. I'm actually gonna take the path. Maybe able to pull the deck up on Stream Decker. Application error. Oh yeah, Stream Decker was acting up on Spike's stream as well. Just use the Cardboard Live one. The Cardboard Live one actually works. Yeah, I'll trade. We're gonna call for Raminap on end step. And I'm not gonna let my opponent use their dismember or whatever it is that they're holding. Push, maybe. Yeah, this is fine. Where are you, Raminap? There we are. And I'm actually gonna fetch for a Temple Garden here, because if they kill my Raminap and I top deck Skyclave, I want to make sure that I can cast it. Why give to Revis with him? Because he cannot get gusted. The calm gift. Okay. Oh wow. They didn't even draw the bubble? Half that? You think they should be out of basics? Play another Reclaimer. I'm not gonna attack because I don't want to make my opponent's shadows bigger. If we need to make the Reclaimer a 3-4, we can do it here. Like if they bolt my Reclaimer again. Could I have done that last turn? Actually, maybe. Maybe I punted there. As you listen to the voice, I can't wait to stay. Shut up, Larry. Get out of here. Bomat Courier. You got it. You got it. Wow, are they really this desperate? Okay. I guess I kind of run into that one, huh? But this means that Reclaimer survives, though. Honestly, I should have double blocked there. I should have double blocked there. Okay, so it is Doomwick's list, splashing white. Just gonna go squatter myself because they have infinite mana already, and by go squattering myself, I am allowing my opponent to, I am allowing myself to cast a Titan if I top deck it. This is from the Ghost Squatter. And this is from the Flagstones. Shadow. We can start making sombos here. What's up, Scott? How's it going? Can we play around TBR is the real question here. They haven't played a spell so far. If they fetch Shock, I think... They still have one Blood Crypt in their deck. I think I'm not going to play around TBR. If they have TBR, they got me. But I think that if I play around TBR, we actually are going to start falling behind. Wow. Reclaimer's still here. Sick. We can get a second field. We can make 3 zombies. We play Sanctuary, trigger field, trigger on this, the bounce trigger on the stack. We fetch, sack this, get another Field of the Dead. ¿Cómo viene la cosa, Zurdover? Todo bien, tranquilo. Le estamos pasando bien con el masaquito este. We can cycle Groves too. I guess we can do both. I know that I'm not attacking. The problem with cycling Groves is we're gonna find a land, right? We're gonna find a land. We're totally finding land. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. The problem is that we play into Thoughtseize. I think we're gonna cycle Groves on end step. Just gonna cycle Groves on end step. Again, not interested in attacking with Archon until we have a lethal attack. There's no need to make my opponent's blocks easier. They kind of have to shock there. They didn't shock, so now they don't have attacks. IMO, SMH if they TBR as TBH. All of that makes a lot of sense. Vela cute. We could swing for lethal here. But we're playing into removal spell, and if... I think we just pass the turn, and we throw a bunch of stuff into my opponent. Like, if they attack, we just throw everything in front of the Death Shadow. Yeah, I think we just have this one locked up. Okay. All of these are pretty good. There's no way I'm meant to keep this because of Bomat, right? That's just not a thing. This is just the best Shadow version right now? It probably is, yeah. It probably is. It had insane results over the weekend. Countless amounts of top 8s. Reclaimer is kind of sus in this matchup. It just dies to bolt, push, like basically all of their removal spells. But as we just saw, when they don't answer it, it literally just wins the game by itself given enough time, so... I probably don't want to cut Reclaimers. Speaking of sus, Among Us stream 1. I don't even know. I haven't even downloaded Among Us. I haven't bought it yet. Ramming Up is slow and Tracker 2. The thing about Ramming Up is that it gets back blast zones, which is one of the ways that we can actually keep up with Lurrus in the late game. Tracker I could see cutting. But I feel that Ramming Up is a fine two-door target to have access to. Yeah, maybe I have to cut it though. Knight is a good card in the matchup. I disagree. You're killing Bomat, but that's it. You're just killing Bomat. I'm not excited about this 6. The game 4 could be relevant. I don't think so on the draw. I don't think it's relevant enough on the draw. Siding Blessed Alliance. Now that's going deep right there. Remember Blessed Alliance? That was a card. This is the kind of situations where I really miss Springbloom Druid. I think that if we had access to Springbloom Druid in our deck, we would be very heavy favorites here. I have honestly been a very big fan of Spring Bloom. So the deck really doesn't play the prowess angle super well since in the shadow package, and boom, I ended up being more valuable in the removal. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I think the shadow plays really well in this deck. Take Titan? Okay. He can't even play Skyclave here. Yeah, I think we just call for Dryad. Now both lands are and spells are good draws for us. So now they need to find an answer to the Dryad, or any land just wins the game. Is that Dismember? Or is that Lurrus? That's a Lurrus. That doesn't do anything. That's a chump blocker. Or if we draw land, we just have lethal. Sweet. Boop. Pina. Alright, so I'm just gonna ship the Path to Exile here. Against Eldrazi. Against Eldrazi. Tron. I think I care more about playing Steve here. Definitely blocking. Was planning on sacking anyway. How is tight in this deck with the lack of major ramp spells? I mean, Reclaimer is a major ramp spell that also wins the game on its own. It's a little bit of a tempo play, but I think I'd rather my opponent have the 4/4 than if they kill the apparition than the extra land. No, they took apparition. Okay. These are not good draws. Not good draws at all. Not good draws at all. But now we have, like, if we draw a Titan, we win. If we draw... Oh, okay. That's something. Ensnaring Bridge? That's what they got? Bridge is very interesting for them to get there. I could have copied their Blast Zone. I don't think I like that too much. All this dust. F me, I guess. Reclaimer. I'm gonna blow up the Blast Zone, I think. I assume my opponent's gonna kill my Field of the Dead here. Oof. Oof. So they get to kill Reclaimer, kill my Field. Ugh. Now I can't even Titan off the top. Dryad, I think that we lose now. That was a huge swing. I think that we would have been able to beat Decoding. I think we would have been able to beat Decoding, but like the combination of both seems like a little bit too much. Those were a couple of extremely good exchanges from my opponent. A little bit too good. They have Ballista too? Yeah, okay. Okay, so Tech Edge is pretty good here. Oof is pretty good here as well. Tig is interesting. I think I like it. Generous Gift and Tracker. Couple of paths can go. Bog is terrible. Archon. Archon is actually interesting. Huh. Why not? With the tier 1 sub. Welcome back for the 8th month in a row. Thank you so much for the continued support, Quinoc. Appreciate it. Why is Generous Gift played over Beast Within? I'm just gonna cut all the paths. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be generously gifting next turn, so never mind, I guess. Just gonna call for Reclaimer. Let's get the party started. They can TKS me here, but we don't care too much about that, I don't think. No, they can't TKS me. They need to kill this. Yeah. Then we do that again. The weird thing about Teague in these kind of matchups is like you don't know how much work it's actually doing. Like it's possible my opponent's hand is like Karn, Ugin, all this dust, but we just don't know. So it's kind of awkward. They can map for Blast Zone, but they can't crack it. They can't crack it here. Tech Edge. Okay. Brutal. That's okay. At least they don't know about the Titan. Smasher. So this is 5, 9, 12. We would go down 1. But then we can go get Radiant Fountain. I think that's fine. Because then we just stabilize. An opponent can't hold his dust. You missed the discussion of the weekend shows? Yeah, I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Yes. So I think I'm gonna play the castle here before anything else because it allows me to play Titan and still hold up Reclaimer activation. So we do this. We field flagstones. Crackstones. Get a Sacred Foundry. Have I ever played a Titan deck? Yeah, you can go on my YouTube and you can watch the No Die Enemy series. I played many non-Titan decks. Titan decks are obviously my preference. And yeah, in Legacy, obviously, I play a bunch of non-Titan decks. Sweet. Game number 3. I assume that Teague did a lot of work there. I just have to assume that that's the case. Just the Miser's path to excel. Mind Sensor is just not really a consideration against the deck that is filled with a deck that has access to Walking Ballista, right? Gonna get Temple Garden here. Turn 1 Reclaimer. I think I'm gonna Teak here instead of activate Reclaimer. Is that crazy? Because Reclaimer activation doesn't ramp me this turn. Yeah, I really want to prevent my opponent from playing Karn here, so I think I'm just going to tap for 1 and prevent my opponent from Karning me. They can still Thought Knot. Okay, so they can finish up Tron. We don't care too much about that. Is this Ballista? Ballista is kind of the only thing that matters here, right? That's exactly what they have. That's exactly what they have. Okay. If they're gonna kill Reclaimer, they have to do it now. They do. Killing Reclaimer means that they don't kill Dryad, which is good. Play Tracker. Play land. So I imagine that we're gonna get our T killed here. Yep. The good thing is that Karn is obviously a lot less threatening when we have this board state. That's really good. It's a great way to start this. Now what? Take edge would be a pretty good draw. Ghost Quarter, I guess, would be okay. Second Valakut would be very good. Oh, I'm an idiot. I had to crack Clue. Yep. Why didn't I bounce the bounce for repeated damage? Honestly, because I need to have 6 mana for Titan, right? So let's do this. This kills Karn. Then we crack Clue first. So I might need to kill my own Dryad here to make Sundering Titan worse. I don't think I can percent lethal it, right? So we can fetch for Forest. We crack Clue. The trigger pings the Thought Knot. We can deal. Yeah, we have one more land drop. I think I'm gonna fetch, and I'm gonna ping the Thought Knots here. So we're gonna do this. We ping the Thought Knots here. Now we attack with both. We're gonna trade with Tracker. Draw a card. Pog. Play perfectly, get rewarded. So the power plant is the one that they fetched for. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they need to peel exactly power plant. Why attack even? Because it's a free attack. I am kind of hoping for the best here. in a sense. Sweet. So that means that they don't have the power plant. Feels good, man. Feels good. We had 2 looks at a draw from the clue, right? But by attacking, I also give myself the out to Tectonic Edge. What would have happened if I hadn't drawn a Ghost Quarter? I was going to use Fetch Land. So I was going to draw 1 more card main phase. And then I was going to replay the Fetch Lands and I was going to kill my own Dryad. If I kill my own Dryad, then the Sundering Tide just comes down and destroys 2 lands and I have a Raminap in play, so I don't really care. But then destroying 5, it's just too much, right? So I was just going to kill my own dude and then take it from there. This deck's freaking sweet. I really like this deck. I really, really, really like this deck. I do like Screamloom Druid, so... No amulets? Nope. This is not an amulet deck. I think I would have put it to 4 so that we would have lethal through 1 blocker the following turn. Does that actually work? If we didn't attack with the tracker, but then they have a blocker, right? They're gonna have a Sundering Titan. You think it's better than the Vile one? Yeah, I answered that question multiple times today, so I guess it's the question that really have people thinking. And the importance of that is how good Path to Exile, not even how good, just how necessary having access to Path to Exile is in the current metagame. We have Dryad and Excavator, which hit face and kill. No, because they still have but they will still have a Thought Knots here. Or do you mean if I point the triggers at the Thought Knot? If I throw both triggers at the Thought Knot instead of doing that? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's I guess what you're talking. Yeah, that's also interesting. But that line really loses to like Dismember and stuff. And our opponent has 2 draw steps towards a removal spell. And we have multiple ways of beating a Sundering Titan, right? They can Dismember if they're at 4 life. Fair point. Yeah, maybe your line was better. Yeah, maybe your line was better. Mine obviously worked out, but that doesn't mean that it was correct. So as a whole, my lights in this deck as far as turn 2 with a Reclaimer, out and no Flagstones, energy and light advice, fish Flagstone, then basically turn 2 or 3 off. For go Reclaimer activation, just blow ahead with another skull or whatever turn 2 plays. The problem with Chi Sample is that every game is so unique. Like, what are you playing against? Like, how does your hand, like the curve in your hand look like? You just need to figure out what your next turn your next couple of turns are going to be looking like, right? I cannot give you any guidelines because if you follow them, you would be making mistakes multiple times. So it's a lot better for you to like figure out what your plan is on every single specific game rather than follow guidelines that are going to be incorrect in a lot of situations. Yeah, using like screenshots and sharing it on the Discord is definitely a good way to go about it for sure. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna cut 1 Gracer and I'm gonna bring Spring Bloom instead. Just having access to the 1-off feels very powerful. Having access to more turn 1 plays, obviously, it's also powerful, but I think that this guy is really, really good. And what do we talk about? Oh, turn Timber, right? Trying to make room for... I kind of don't want to turn Timber, honestly. I guess it's okay. I guess if I were playing like a more Titan-y version, so without this and without this, for example, one of these could be a turn Timber and the other one could be like maybe an Explorer or something like that. Or another Grazer, I don't know. But I like having access to these bullets. How do you feel this matches up against Prison decks? What are the Prison decks, Kenpachi? There are just no Prison decks in the format. Like, where Prison doesn't exist anymore, the mono red decks are just unplayable. The Centaur Peacemaker this league, it's just so narrow. Leviathan. I don't know why I would want to test that card. Like, it's cute and everything, but Ice 9 pile. Man. Ice 9 pile. What a hero. What about Elder instead of Grazer? You do realize that you are talking about two directly opposite cards, right, Ixidor? You're comparing a ramp card with a payoff card. I don't think that you can do that kind of... You can follow that kind of thinking. If you want to play a payoff card or a target card, a two-door target card, you should be cutting another two-door target card. And I don't think that I would want that card over anything else. Maybe over Archon in specific metagames. Play 6 Reclaimers easy? Yeah, I wish I could. I would also play 6 Flagstones probably. Alright folks, I will be back for another league. We're going to be taking a short break right now. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for checking out the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye bye.